Okay. Can you guys see that?
Yeah, we got it.
Alrighty. Let's start down at the bottom after fizz buzz. So we're gonna comment that out. Keep moving here. Object-oriented design patterns. So we mentioned those last week. Um, make software easier, make everyone understand what something means within the context of code. So first thing I'm going to do is actually show you a factory pattern because I think that's a really useful, easy pattern, and just like will help with understanding these. So let's make a car factory. So I'm going to do a class and do car factory. That's usually how you'll see it. And what does my car factory need? So car factories typically don't have a lot of state data. Sometimes they have like static counters, which I didn't talk about static items. So if you guys remember, when you create an object off of a class, and you start using that object, changes its state and all this different stuff, and then you create a second object, those two objects have completely distinct states, right? If you can't access one object from one information within another object. But there is a cheat code in computer science to be able to do it. And it's called static variables. I'm actually not even sure you can do these in Python or how you do them. I'm used to doing them in C++. But if you name something static, like in C++, it would be like the variable name, then it would be like static, and it would be like the type, which might be like int, and then count, and then equals like 0 or something. What you're essentially doing is you are building a member or a method that is associated with the actual class, not with the object created from the class. I know that's kind of weird, but what that means is now if I update the count for the class with an object's method or function or something like that, it actually updates for all the objects because it's associated with the class itself, not with the object. A little bit of a weird thing that you can do, but it's extremely useful if you want to know how many like car parts you have created with multiple factories or things like that. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Cool. All right. So that's just a small side tangent. We're going to create our car factory. First thing we need to do is kind of create the frame of the car. So I'm going to have def, and it's usually like create frames like this. We might even want to have a variable that's like style. And then we do like if style, style. Why am I doing it? Style is equal to car. Then return, return. What do I want to do here? Car style. We're just doing text, but usually you return like another object that would be a car style. Then like we'll do an elif style equals truck. Return, and then we'll do truck style. Good stuff there. Let's create another function. Def create. What's something else we need to create for a car? An example would be create wheel, right? Or just wheels. We'll make all the wheels at once because we know it's going to have 4 wheels. So, this one's, we're not going to give it a style. We're just going to make sure that everybody gets wheels. Sometimes you might do like different sizes of wheels or something like that, but there doesn't even need to be an if statement. We're literally just going to return wheels. All right. And then we're going to do one more that is create. Let's do one more, and this is paint. Or let's do engine. I'm going to show you how this all comes together in a second. I'm kind of just like, and then engine type. If engine type equals V4, we're going to return V4 engine. Elif engine type equals V6. We're going to return a V6 engine. All right, a typo or something here. Figure it out.
Is it the
Equals
double
equal.
equal sign? Yeah.
Yep, great catch. Yep, absolutely. So that's all we're going to do there. And then, I'm going to make this actually create. I'm going to do one more thing, which is def, and it is create color. This is like, we can even do paint color if you just make it explicit. Self color. And this one, we're just going to return. No, we're gonna do it. We're gonna give you two options. So color equals red. Return. It's red paint. Okay, color equals paint. Return equals red paint. Elif. Color equals gray. Return equals gray. And we'll do one more. Elif. Color equals blue. Return. Yeah.
I think you need the doubles there as well.
Yeah, good call. Easy to make mistakes like that. Thank goodness for IDs that tell you. Color equals blue. I don't have any equals. Elif color equals blue. Return. What did I mess up there? It'll tell me. Do I hover over it? It says statement must be separated by. Oh, return equals. This is just a return. This isn't a simply return. Okay, so all right, so that's what I would usually do with a CarFactory. But what you actually do is you usually don't return text. You usually have other classes that are for those components. So I might do class frame, right? And I have if style, or sorry, not if. I have def class frame. Def dot data frame. And we're gonna cheat because at some point you have to do something, so we're gonna make it print frame. Oh wait, sorry. This should be to create. I'm actually gonna make multiple factories here. Give you a full robust example. So this is frame factory. I'm going to create frame. It's going to return I'm going to make this car frame. It's there. Car style frame. All right. Then I'm going to do def. Think how I want to do it. There's lots of ways you can do it. All right. So truck frame. Turn truck frame, struct frame, and then like we're gonna create a base. Def. I'm actually gonna change the structure of this class, so I'm not gonna make it a factory for this example. I don't want to get too abstract. So set base frame. We're gonna make a variable that is self that I don't think you do self. Did we agree that you don't do self before? Yeah, you don't do self. We'll do that in a second. Wait a minute. All right, so frame equals 0, just we give it something to start. Set base frame self, and then frame, and then self dot frame equals frame. Yeah, so we have that. That's a setter for the frame. And then we are going to set the style. We already set the style, so I'm going to just delete all this. Sorry, that took a little bit for my brain to like warm up to what I'm doing there. All right, so we're going to return. We in this section now. When we create the frame, we are going to do this. Return, create a new class object frame. Well, we'll do it up top. So that's just clear. Frame equals capital frame, create the object. And when we create the object, we are then going to set it. So frame dot set base frame style. And then return the frame. All right, cool. So that set the base frame. Now we're going to do the exact same thing for the other components of the car. So I'm just going to copy some lines here. We're going to do it for wheels. So wheels.
Real quick, for all these parts, are you trying to make them a single instance? Each instance has its own wheels, because by default, wheels and all those are going to be static. So static is defined based on in a class outside of any function.
This is automatically static, is what you're saying?
That's automatically static. Yeah. If you put it, you'd have to put it inside of a init. Usually put inside of an init function.
Oh, in Python.
Yeah, def underscore init.
Yeah. Sorry, Rachel. This is a Pythonism for how to create a non-static item. Good call, Jason.
Yep.
So this is the when I talked to you before about constructors way back in the day. This is the constructor for a class. Do I need self here, Justin or Jason?
Yes, I believe you do.
All right. This is so what I was.
Function.
This is actually static. So this is so I need self in the init function too.
Yeah. No, sorry.
Oh, no. I passed through the constructor. Yeah. Okay, cool. So this is how you create the variable non-static. Okay. Good call. Clearly, my coding skills are a little bit rusty here. All right.
Will you remind me what the usage of self is?
Yes. So self is a key word in Python that essentially is saying, I want you to worry about the instance rather than the static class itself.
Okay.
So this is referencing self.frame. That is the member variable self.frame. When you create the class, it creates a copy of self.frame and then uses that copy. If I don't do that and I just do frame, then it treats it as a static variable to the class, not to the instance, not to the object that's created. So it's like making a copy versus not making a copy. You can think of it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I want frame to be distinct for every frame we create. This is making a member variable in the class. White 5 pound does this a little bit awkward. All right. Whoops. Go back. Oh, I did that. Dump that wheel equals 0. All right. We are going to copy this exact same thing. We're going to make this wheels. We're not even going to have wheels. It's literally going to say, we're going to make 4 wheels. We're going to make it literally set 4 wheels. That's what we're going to do. So then when I come down into my wheels class and I say the wheels object, we'll make this wheels equals wheels. Usually you don't want to do set like this unless you're actually passing something in, but what the heck. I don't think I'm passing anything to set that wheel. It's wheel. Set that wheels. There we go. I gotta have wheels that set that wheels. That's yeah. Stop. What am I doing? All right.
There we go.
So return and then wheels.
Real quick for that wheels function, did you set the wheels class to member variable frame for set wheels?
Yeah, it's a member variable. It's self-out wheels
Self-out frame.
equals. Oh, good call. Yep.
There we
All this stuff, by the way, Rachel, what happens is usually you make like little type mistakes like this. You start debugging and you kind of have to go line by line to fix your little typing errors. All right, so next one would be engine. Promise this will be like a wonderful payoff here in a second. So we're going to set the engine to whatever we pass into the engine. It's going to be engine. So now we come down here, and instead of this, we're literally going to do engine equals engine, create the engine, engine, engine. That. Did I spell that right? This is set that wheel. That's what's happening. Engine.
You did engineer.
Endure. That.
You want to do engineer, so
Engine type. All right. Now, paint our last one. Class paint. That paint. Color. Okay, paint, color. All right. And then we will do color equal. We'll do paint equals. I'm going to change this to just create paint. A little bit clearer. So paint equals paint class. And then paint dot color, or set paint as the color. Return color. We need to have a return statement here. Return engine. Right. So I got this awesome CarFactory. It's built off all these wonderful classes. Now, how do I use it? So now, if I'm a user of this factory that we've created, I'm going to make a CarFactory object. Factory equals CarFactory. And then I have to, remember when I said factories force you to assemble everything outside the class?
Mhm.
Or I actually need to do it all needs to be assemblable. And usually it's assemblable in the frame. So I'm going to say set paint. Self dot paint. Self dot paint equals paint. I need to have self dot paint. Oops. self dot engine, self dot we have frame, engine, paint, wheels. Wheel. So the frame's going to have hooks to basically take everything. So now I'm going to have the rest of my classes here: def, set, paint, engine, self, paint, clear, self. Oh, not paint. All right, almost there. One more function. Def set. We are going to do wheels. Self dot wheels. Self dot wheels equal wheels. All right. So we have hooks into our frame for everything, right? So we can set the frame. We can also, and what I usually do is like make frame and then change this thing where I actually make the frame down here. So it's semantically clear. You make frame. Right. So we have make frame, and then we have the ability to set the other components of the engine into the frame as member variables. We have other classes for all those components. We have a CarFactory that puts it all together, and then we are responsible for assembling it outside of the class. So I have a CarFactory. First thing I have to do is create the components. So I need to create a frame equals CarFactory. So CarFactory dot create. This says factory, and this is spelled wrong. I have a feeling. What am I missing there? Why is it acting weird? It's the same. Car factory is not defined. It is though. We have a spelling error. Very likely cause that, or it thinks that I'm still in this function. Turn color, turn factory blue. Oh, I didn't catch the. It's white space sensitive in Python. I didn't catch those over there. There we go. All right. So we created our car factory. Now we have to create each of our components. We're going to create a frame. The frame is going to be a car. We are going to create we're going to, I realize I'm going to need one extra component, but I think I'm going to be able to make it in 6 minutes here. So engine equals engine create for car factory engine or dot create engine v4, and then we are going to do so frame engine. We are now doing paint equals car factory dot create paint. We're gonna do red, and then wheels is the last one. Wheels equals car factory dot create wheels. We'll do 4 wheels. All right, now we have to assemble all those. So the frame's already assembled, but now we do frame dot set engine to engine. Frame dot set paint to red. Oh, sorry, not red. Paint. That wheels to wheels. All right. And a lot of times you might instead of frame, you might actually name this like car base or something along those lines. I'm going to leave it as frame just for the sake of time here.
Mm-hmm.
But the frame is now the car in this case. Let's see if I have in 4 minutes a way to print this out. So I'm going to do a print, and I want my frame to be able to print essentially what's here. So I'm going to say def get specs self and it's a getter function. So we are just going to do this. We are going to return, or I'm going to set specs equals string function just to combine all the numbers. We're going to do self. I can do this real quick. So frame plus str self.frame plus no self plus we are going to do frame paint plus str self dot paint. We are going to do engine and do plus there and do plus here. So good on time. Funny when you're trying to code fast. Self dots wheels. So we got the engine frame, we got the frame, paint, wheels, and then we need plus. Our last one is the engine. So how I did the wheels here, so this is wheels. I need to do the engine. Engine plus str. Oh, that's just str. Self engine. Okay. So that were, and then we return specs. Specs. Returns. Okay. Well, if I don't have an error here, this will work. So now we're going to print frame.get specs. All right. We have run nothing this entire time. Go to the terminal, PD desktop, our app is Python 3, and then test.py. CarFactory wheels 4, error in line 274. So this is where you kind of got to go through line by line and be like, there's an error here. For one of these, they're all SDR'd. Yeah. We got 1 minute left. Takes one propositional argument, 2 are given. This is usually a self error. Self. Create wheels, I put 4 in there. So that's not where we automatically said there was going to be 4. That was the error. All right. I forgot to put those. Boom. Look at that. Right on time. So now I've created my car. There is an error somewhere in here with like how I'm doing one of these, but I'm not really worried about debugging it at the moment. So that's essentially how, because they're trying to memory address. That's essentially how you use a factory here in closing. You literally have classes for each of your each of your components, including a class that kind of functions as the base in what you're going to stick all those components into. And then you make the factory, which has functions for creating all those components. And then you have to build the car outside of the factory. So hopefully that wasn't too confusing. We'll cover a little bit more next week when we have a little more time.